So can you tell me how did it happen? HDIF started to produce the masks.
Well, during the first week of March, I saw a post on Facebook from WFTO in Asia, which is based in Chiang Mai in Thailand. And they suggested that all the Asian WFTO members all start producing so-called PPEs, personal protection equipment. And I thought, well, that's something we could do, but I'm not so sure that it would mean big changes and big challenges and a lot of hard work. And then only 2 days later, one of our own producer partners in the town of Vartanis, which is about a 2-hour drive from where I'm sitting right now, they started producing masks that weren't so good. And so I thought of putting those two things together. If we take the WFTO Asia idea and we put it together with this group wants to make masks. And so we're just playing a role in the middle to put these two good initiatives together and produce a good mask.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what type of masks are produced?
Right, okay. This is a mask that is not a medical mask. Medical grade masks should be reserved for healthcare professionals. This is a personal protection mask. I'm going to show you the mask here. This is the mask. Now, ours is trying to be as good as it can be because it has a double layer of fabric. You can see in there, there's 2 layers of fabric. It's not the fabric that's filtering, it's those 2 sheets of normal kitchen towel that are in there. It's 2 sheets of paper towel, basically. And that's what provides the filtering effect on our masks. And that's what makes our mask better than any other fabric mask. It's called the People's Mask because so many of the fair trade organizations are making it around Asia, and also it's starting to be made in Africa and Latin America. So this is the People's Mask that is taking the world by storm.
Okay, that is very good to hear. And how is the situation in Armenia? Who is actually producing the masks for HDIF?
We started in one production site, which actually they were making potholders until this whole coronavirus thing came around. And they were the ones that started making simple masks for their local police department and their polyclinic in their own town. And then when we got this going, they switched all their production over to the face masks. And because of production capacity, theirs is limited. We've started one more that is starting to produce now, and we have a 3rd one lined up to start producing. So there's a lot of production that's up and coming. We have a state of emergency in Armenia. We have had roadblocks. There's not been any ability to move around the country at all for the last 2 or 3 weeks. But just this morning, those roadblocks were removed, so there is more movement, but there are still lots of challenges and positive challenges in making these masks. And one aspect of this that is not being talked so much about is the disposable masks. I mean, you're supposed to buy to replace your disposable mask if you use them once a day in order to keep the sanitary effect of a disposable mask. If you do that, you're throwing away 7 masks and encouraging the use of these people's masks because they can be washed, they should be washed every day. They should be ironed every day from a sanitary point of view, but from an environmental point of view, they are also very good.
Yeah, that is true. So let's talk a little bit more about the project, because before you were mentioning that your masks are planned to be handed out locally on the one hand, but you also mentioned that there's an interest in exporting your products to other regions in the world. So how is it with the cooperation between HDIF and El Puente?
El Puente, great partner to have, of course. We're very thrilled with this project. On the export side, yes, we are going to be exporting to El Puente as soon as we can. The challenge there is that the government has placed a ban on the export of all medical equipment. And under that comes the category of masks. So right now, it is not legal for us to export. That is why we are in contact with the government every day to see what is the status of the ban on exports. Locally, the people who are going to receive the masks on this end through the El Puente HDF project are identified by the government, the Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs. They have recommended that we work with the Armenian Red Cross, and so they have given us a list of masks that they want for their organization. And secondly, in the UN system, UNHCR has recommended that we work with an organization called Mission Armenia. They have also given a list of masks that they will require. And both of these organizations, I've been here in Armenia for 20 years. I know them, I trust them. I know that they coordinate their beneficiary lists so that the same person or family does not appear on both their lists and is getting double up of something. So it's all very coordinated, all very transparent, and we're thrilled, they're thrilled that these masks are going to be delivered to them within the next couple of weeks. If I can talk about who among the beneficiaries is going to receive the mask from the El Puente support. It is the elderly in particular. While they are not encouraged to go out, from a mental point of view, it's not only a health issue, a physical health issue, it's a mental health issue. So while you can say to a person, don't go out, people need to be out and about, get some fresh air. So secondly, there will be persons with disabilities because they have a precondition, and so they are particularly vulnerable as well. And then there's the third group is refugees. We have refugees both from the previous conflict 20 years ago with Azerbaijan and from the newer conflict in Syria with the Syrian Armenian refugees that are in the country. So those three groups, the elderly, persons with disabilities, and refugees. Now, on top of that, I found it very interesting when talking to them that they said what we really, really want is protection for our own staffs. So their own employees who are out among the beneficiaries every day, they will be receiving masks actually as their first priority because they need to be out moving around among people who might be infected every day and cannot stay at home. So they are a priority.
Okay, that sounds like the project really would reach out to a lot of different people involved or affected by the situation. For El Puente, the initial thought was to show to our customers that with one mask they can buy in Germany, one is going to be founded as per the projects in Armenia. Unfortunately, now we cannot work on the export project because of the state of emergency in Armenia, but the masks that were meant for the beneficiaries in Armenia, do they have to wait until the masks are delivered to El Puente, or will they be supported directly?
You guys in El Puente have been very smart on this. You've said, go ahead and do what you can do in Armenia. So the masks, the 2,000 masks that will be distributed in Armenia are being made right now, and they're going to be distributed as soon as possible to the two organizations, the Armenian Red Cross and Mission Armenia, so that they can get out to the beneficiaries in Armenia as soon as possible. And then we hope in the meantime that this temporary ban on export will be solved and we can ship the other half of the mask to Germany.
Okay, yeah, good. Thanks, Tim, for giving so many insights into the project and also all the background, which is currently so important to know. It was a pleasure talking for you. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you so much to El Puente for this great project. We really appreciate it. Very useful, protecting some lives in Armenia. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you too. We stand strong together.
We sure do.